Hello, you're watching the Unit A Concept 3 video for Mrs. Cummings' Language Arts class. After watching this video, you should be able to tell if a verb is an active or passive voice. A verb is in the active voice when the subject performs the action of the verb. Remember that the subject of a sentence is the who or what is performing the action of the sentence. The subject usually comes before the verb, but not always. You should use active voice when you write because it gives your writing energy. It puts focus on the subject and helps make your writing forceful. Sentences written in active voice are also less wordy than those written in passive voice. Less wordy sentences are less confusing to your readers. Here are a few example sentences written in the active voice. In the sentence, the soldiers built the fire, the action, built, is being done by the subject, soldiers. The sentence, Anderson told his men stories, is also written in active voice, as is the third example. Paul Revere, the subject, is performing the action, warned, in the sentence. A verb is in the passive voice when the subject receives the action of the verb. Passive voice sentences are useful if you don't know who performed the actions, or if you don't want to emphasize the performer. You would use passive voice if the action was more important than who is performing it. A verb in the passive voice uses some form of the verb be as a helping verb, such as is, are, was, or were. Use this to help you identify passive voice verbs. Here are the example sentences that we looked at earlier for active voice, but they are now written using the passive voice. In the first example, the fire was built by the soldiers. The verb is passive voice. There are two clues in this sentence that you should look for when trying to decide if a verb is in the active or passive voice. First thing you should notice is the presence of the helping verb was. Remember that I mentioned previously how the presence of helping verbs indicate passive voice. If you take a look at all three examples, you will notice that there are helping verbs in all three. Just because there is a helping verb present doesn't necessarily mean that the verb is in passive voice. There are other indicators to look for. If you look at all three examples, you will see a prepositional phrase following the verb. In each of the three examples, the prepositional phrase beginning with the preposition by is followed by who or what is doing the action. These two things together would indicate that this sentence was written in passive voice. In passive voice sentences, the who or what that is performing the action comes after the verb. You can change a passive voice sentence into an active voice sentence. Most of the time, all you have to do is turn the object of the preposition into the subject. Remember that the object of the preposition is the noun or pronoun that follows the preposition in the phrase. The example shows how the object of the preposition, Andrea, was turned into the subject and moved in front of the verb. Okay, now it's time to test your new knowledge. You're going to read the 5 practice example sentences. In your SSS packet, you are going to rewrite the sentences to change them from passive voice to active voice. Make sure you note that one of the 5 sentences will sound better written in passive voice, so write no change for that sentence. Number 1. The Sioux tribe was given its name by the Chippewa Indians. Number 2. The Sioux lifestyle was destroyed by the loss of buffalo. Number 3. Much of the Sioux land was taken over. Number 4. Better times were predicted by a Sioux prophet. Number 5. A fierce battle was led by the legendary Chief Sitting Bull. Pause the video now and complete the practice example problems in your SSS notes. Once you have finished, resume the video to check your answers. Okay, now it's time for some answers. Number 1. Chippewa Indians gave the Sioux tribe its name. Number 2. The loss of buffalo destroyed the Sioux lifestyle. There's no change for number 3 because we don't know who or what took over the Sioux land. Number 4. A Sioux prophet predicted better times. And number 5. The legendary Chief Sitting Bull led a fierce battle. Hopefully you did well on that exercise. If you did, you can take the Unit B Concept 3 Mastery Quiz on Edmodo if you have internet access. Complete the summary and questions section of your WISC before returning to class, and come prepared to discuss the objective with your classmates.